Hello and welcome to Sport This Morning. I'm Cecilia Omogbe.
A very good morning to you. Thanks for joining us. It's good to be here once again. I'm Yemi Adebayo. Let's start you off with the news making the rounds from this part of the world. Let's start from home. Let's start talking about the Nigeria Professional Football League. We're going to do a review of match day 11. 8 matches to be played this weekend. Of course, Rangers and the Aba Elephants are in action on the continent, talking about the CAF Confederation Cup. So 8 matches will be played. We'll do our best to give you a comprehensive review of the matches to be played on the domestic scene.
Absolutely, and in Lagos, you'll be having MFM hosting Nasarawa United, who had a goalless draw against Kano Pillars on Boxing Day. Also on the program, well, the 30-year wait for Liverpool might be finally coming to an end. Or rather, it's coming to an end. Just crowned them champions already. Liverpool are now 13 points clear on the top of the English Premier League, beating Leicester 4-0. That's their closest rival.
All right, so the Reds shining in that one. Liverpool looks like is their title to lose right now. Okay, so let's go to basketball and talk about this guy, Luka Doncic, returns to help the Dallas Mavericks to win in the NBA. He's been out for a couple of games, but it was on hand to help the Dallas Mavericks defeat the San Antonio Spurs 102-98 points, and gave his team victory in that one. A very good way to mark your return to the game.
Absolutely a good way for him, and that's where we're starting the show of this morning with the NBA. But before we talk about Luka Doncic and how he was able to put up some good numbers for the Dallas Mavericks, we have to take a look at the results first on the night. Some of the games are played over the night, starting from the game between talking about the Oklahoma City Thunder, and also another game let's just start with the Spurs and the Mavericks. San Antonio Spurs, you talked about it earlier. Luka Doncic making an impressive return for the Dallas Mavericks. And this was a good return because he's been suffering. He had ankle injury and he has missed 4 games so far. But he returned with some good numbers, being able to lead his team. Had a double-double, 24 points and 10 rebounds. Contributed 8 assists in that win over San Antonio Spurs. The game between the Knicks and the Nets, it was 94-82, and that's won Brooklyn Nets 21 of 17 from the field, just 26%. I mean, that was a loss to the New York Knicks, and it was Taurean Prince who was 1 of 10. So it was really a miserable day for them, you will say. For the Wizards and the Pistons, it was 102 and 132, Yemi. That is a 30-point victory.
Blowout.
Blowout. That's a huge one. The Timberwolves and the Sacramento Kings was 105 and 104. It went to 2 overtime. And for the Timberwolves, they won by just 1 point. How painful can that be?
Painful way to lose again.
Well, for Dieng, he had a double-double of 21 points and 50 rebounds. And, of course, just maybe that actually helped in that double overtime victory. Also, Grizzlies and the Oklahoma City Thunder, it was 110 and 97. That's a 3-point victory for the Memphis Grizzlies. For the Portland Trail Blazers and the Utah Jazz, it was 115 and 121. And this particular one, you will say it was all about Donovan Mitchell, who scored 28 of his 35 points in the second half to power the Jazz to that victory, 115 and 121 for the Jazz. Now, the game we talked about this morning, of course, Luka Doncic returning, and that's the talking point here, and he was able to make a huge impact for his team.
Yeah, huge impact. You already talked about the numbers, 24 points, 10 rebounds, 8 assists. The man Luka just back true effect. Good game. I mean, a lot has been said about this guy, and the injuries didn't help his cause because, I mean, for the past 1 month, we've been waxing lyrical about him, and everything halted a little because of the injury. Then it came up. Well, you know, a lot of people might also argue that, well, Spurs is not really a strong side, but at least it's good that he's marking his return on a day that the Mavericks were able to beat their opponents, even though it was a close game in my own opinion. But then again, good victory for the Dallas Mavericks.
Absolutely. DeMar DeRozan paced the Spurs with 21 points. Rudy Gay added 18. And LaMarcus Aldridge also scored 17. And Derek White hit just 10. And of course, Luka Doncic dominating once again on his return. And that's how the Spurs lost this one, 108 and 92. Now, let's take a look at the guys that put up some numbers on the night. Yes, some big numbers. Julius Randle, as usual. I mean, that's one player we actually need to give him credit for so much. I mean, he has done so much.
For the New York Knicks?
I mean, for the New York Knicks, they put up, 33 points he put up on the night, 8 rebounds and 2 assists. Fine, the team may not be doing so well, but then somehow it had a way of just putting on some big numbers, and his team, they were able to halt that 4-game losing streak they had and improve their record to 4-6 under their interim coach, Mike Miller. In a game, they led as many as 23 points. Another player also...
We must quickly say, talking about Randle and that they halted the losing streak.
Of course.
Was almost becoming something. I think a 4-game losing streak. They halted it. On the losing side, even though we're not talking about Spencer Dinwiddie, also put up some good numbers for the Nets, but ended up on the losing side.
Absolutely, and the Nets are falling to 12-7. Without Kyrie Irving, we're still having that shoulder injury. Well, infringement. It seems that these guys might just be another team not really looking good this season. Damian Lillard, of course, puts up some big numbers for his team. 34, 4, and 8 for the Portland Trail Blazers.
Good numbers in there for, and this might you already talked about it for the Utah Jazz. Donovan Mitchell up with 35 points, 3 rebounds, and 7 assists. It was very instrumental to his team's victory over the Blazers, even though Donovan Mitchell, even though the other guy, Damian Lillard, tried his best, but of course, this guy came out tops in that duel, and they were able to win that game for his team, the Utah Jazz. So that's a wrap on the NBA. There's going to be a lot to talk about in the coming days as the games come in thick and fast.